We're here today with Wayne and Eileen Doolin of Skyline Fiber Mill, and we're going to learn how they process wool into yarn. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the history of your farm and how the mill came?
Certainly. I've lived on this property since 1979, so we've been out here quite a while. About 1987, I put this building in, and now we've turned it in, obviously, to a fiber mill. About 8 months ago, we actually had sheep in it. So it's been quite a transition and a lot of work for both of us. Oops. Eileen decided to do fiber processing at home. And then she wanted fiber sheep, so we got sheep for fiber. And she had a little machine in the house where she would card the fiber, and she worked the fiber there in the house. And then at one point, she figured out she couldn't keep up with it. So we got a bigger machine, obviously. You know how that turned out. And now, as you can see, the machine has grown even more. And
I have enough fiber.
Thank God, truthfully.
This is Columbia wool that came off some sheep in Hood River.
Yeah, an entire clip from that farm.
So this is how it comes in. We weigh it, and this is the beginning. But this is what it will look like when it's processed into a nice husband-sized sweater.
We put the fiber in the wash, and we wash the fiber at least twice, and then we rinse it at least twice, sometimes 3 times. But the reason we have the heat so high is because we have to take the grease, some people call it lanolin, it's not actually at that stage yet, but it's a grease that is sticky on the fiber. And we can't process the fiber, obviously, until that grease is off. And then after the fiber is washed, we spin it in a spinner. Then we take it and put it on the drying racks. It dries overnight or until it's cool to the hand. The fiber is, if you look at the fiber here, you can see it's still very much alive and has that crimp to it, but you won't feel any grease to it.
Right.
It's clean and ready to go into the picker. Whether we dye it or whether we get it off the dryer, we have to be very careful when we put it through the picker to make sure, first of all, we don't put it too much through the picker. There are very, very large spikes that spin really rapidly. The process requires broken fiber. There's nothing you can do to avoid it. It comes out ready to go into the carder. It really turns into a storm of fiber in here. I don't know if you can you see that? It gets really fluffy. We want to have it as broken up and as even as possible because the carding machine is going to now pull the fiber and align the fibers. The carding machine takes the fiber that comes out of the picker and aligns the fibers, which come out the other side of the roving part of the carding machine, gives it a little bit of twist and keeps them straight so that we can take them in the other room and put them on the pin drafter. Once the fiber comes out of the carding machine, it needs to be further aligned. And the way we do that is putting it through what we call a pin drafter. It has about 72 of these combs, and they pull through the fiber as it's being taken through the machine, and aligns those fibers even further so that when we take them over to the spinning machine, they don't break or they're not, they maintain their consistency. Once the fiber goes through this, we don't leave it at that. We turn it around and we send it through again. We pin draft it at least twice. We run it through here. We break it off, lay it out 3 feet long, and we put it onto a scale where we measure the number of grams, and 4 grams is exactly what we're looking for. We get as close to it as possible. We bring the fiber to the spinning machine and we handle it very, very carefully. And so it's drafted between here, and then it is spun onto a spindle. As the spindle is spinning, you adjust the speed of the output of the last roller so that you get exactly the number of turns that you need to hold the fiber together into a yarn.
Famous last words.
Now the fiber's been hooked to the spindle and is coming through the machine. We bring it over here and we put it on this machine. So we take it and we skein it and we pull it off of here. It collapses and it comes off. And we wrap it in a little bun, a little cute bun, and put our sticker on it. 150 yards, 300 yards, whatever we want we can do on this machine. We have an alternative to this, and it's called a cone winder. And this is the only machine in the building that I built myself. We love to process the fiber, and we love the people that are involved in it. We've been really happy so far.
Well, thank you so much, Eileen and Wayne, for showing us around your farm and sharing your mill with us.
It's been our pleasure.
We had a ball.